Maroon Creek members, hi, I'm Mike Malaska. I wanted to take this opportunity to just introduce myself to you and tell you thank you so much, Scott and everybody here, for the opportunity of coming up and spending a month here and teaching here in July and getting to meet all the new people up here. What a phenomenal facility you have. I mean, this is incredible. I work for Jack Nicklaus. I'm all over the world with golf courses at the very highest level. Being here, looking at the conditions, the golf course, the backdrops, you're right there with the top. I don't think there's anything better. I don't care where it is. You have an unbelievable facility here, and it's really an opportunity to be here. I'll be giving lessons all month, and a lot of you won't have the opportunity maybe to take a lesson or don't want to, but I want to give some tips relative to what I've learned. I don't care who you're taking lessons from, or if you're not and you just practice, I'm going to try to help you with some ideas about how you can get better. So let's just talk about practice here for a minute. How many of you have had this happen? You're pretty good on the range, you walk over to the first tee, you start to play and it disappears, and you wonder what happened. You were pretty good on the range. Well, when I ask people what's the biggest difference between the range and the golf course, they immediately come up with there's targets, so there's danger, it counts, you have to count your score. Now, those play into it, but that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is when you're here on the range, you're hitting multiple balls and you're hitting them pretty fast. So what happens is you start to gain a short-term memory for little fixes, so you're not really sure how solid you are. The biggest difference between the range and the golf course is time between shots. I mean, think about it. You hit a tee shot, how long before you hit your next shot? Then your next shot. Then you go to the next tee. It's been 10, 15 minutes before you hit your last driver. So how are we going to learn to practice that, and how are we going to learn to make adjustments when you're on the golf course? So one of the most important things, I just hit a ball there. I hit it pretty decent. I hooked it a little more than I would have wanted to. So now I've taken some time. So I make a few practice swings, try to figure out what little adjustment I'm going to make. And then I come up here and I set up and I try to make another swing and see if I can make it a little better. Now that one was perfect. So I took time while I was talking to you. I made an adjustment and the adjustment worked. Okay, so this is a huge, huge part of learning how to play this game. You have to practice with time between shots so you can find out what's my swing tending to do? When I put time between it, what happens? When that happens, what are the adjustments I can make so that I can hit good shots on the next swing? So it isn't just about rapid fire. See, that starts to get where it's not that valuable. You feel you've got it, put time between it, hit 3 or 4 balls with at least a minute between each one. That's going to really help you to see what your swing's tending to do. And tendencies on the course, you want to learn to anticipate good shots, but you're still going to miss it. Everybody misses. So what are your misses doing? You'll start to find that out. If you miss, how do you adjust? So you start practicing the adjustments. If you make too much adjustment, not enough, what happens? So this becomes extremely valuable. Now, I learned a lot of this being around Jack Nicklaus and watching him practice. Superstars are extremely detailed, and what happens, how they perceive it, and they learn from every swing. Amateurs, you just keep hitting ball after ball after ball. You're not learning much. So when you come out and practice next time, I don't care if it's chipping, putting, bunkers, whatever, full swing driver, hit them. As soon as you feel like you're doing pretty well, put some time between it. As soon as you put time between it, see what happens. Are they still going fairly well? If they are, remember what that feels like. If you miss it a little bit, how did I miss it? What happened to the face? Could I feel the timing? Did my tempo change? Well, let's make an adjustment. So you have to start to practice making adjustments. Golf is all about reading yourself and making adjustments as you play. The same thing isn't going to work every single time, doesn't for anybody. So that's one part of this game that hardly anybody talks about. I really hope that helps you. In fact, I know that it will. I don't hope.